Welcome to July 2020's Ambuscade Vol Two, verse a single spider. In this video, I will go over the key item locations, enemy abilities, battle strategies, and then we'll finish with a battle example of me beating it on very difficult. So let's see what we got this month. Now to get your key item this month for Ambuscade, you need to kill vermin. 1 for your daily quest, and 10 if you want to do the Ambuscade more than once per day. If you only have to kill 1 vermin, there's a lot of places you can find a vermin of any level. You can go to Rebel, for instance, and just exit, and there's usually some spiders right there. However, if you need to kill more than 1, and actually the 10, if you're doing it more than once per day, that can be a little more difficult to find, especially if you want to get there quickly. The best place I have found is the Czech Battlegrounds at Bivouac number 1. Once you get there, go ahead and try and head northeast until you get to this area right here. There's about 15 vermin right here that respawn fairly quickly, and that will allow you to quickly get your key item. I'm sure my viewers will come up with a number of other locations that are just as good as this as well. If you think you found a good location to get 10 or more vermin kills this month rather quickly, go ahead and post it down there in the comments, and I'll keep a running list just so people have a variety of places to go to in case you're on a populated server such as Azure. So let's discuss what we are to expect from this enemy. First, he can use Spiderweb, which is an AoE slow that your trust will have off of you quickly enough, but know that it'll usually interrupt your skill chain process if you're in the middle of one. Acid Spray is a conal poison and damage that additionally will get taken off of you quickly from your trust. Sickle Slash will inflict heavy damage if it hits you. Now I never had an instance of where it did hit me since it's so easy to keep up shadows on this guy, but I have to imagine that if this does hit you, it's going to do pretty severe damage. Now, in regards to spells, he can use Dispel, Bind, and Silence. And then additionally, Water Gut 2, which is really the only threat here to your shadows, as otherwise it's very easy to keep them up. The last thing we need to discuss about this enemy is that he has 3 different modes he can be in, and he will take increased damage, whether it be Weapon Skill, Skill Chain, or Magic Burst damage, dependent upon which mode he is in. So let's quickly talk about those. When first engaged, the spider will always start out in Mode 1. In Mode 1, he will take reduced forms of damage from all types. He will remain in this mode until 90%. Now at 90% hit points, he will switch to either Mode 2 or 3. In Mode 2, he keeps his physical damage shield up, but now takes increased damage from magic damage. And in Mode 3, he keeps the magic damage shield up, but now takes increased damage from physical forms of attack. Now once starting to switch between these modes at 90%, he will continually switch between them every 10%, so at 80, 70, 60, and so on. So normally what you would want to do is make sure that you're doing magic damage and skill chain damage when he's in Mode 3, and then of course white damage and weapon skill damage when he's in Mode 2. But in actual practice, this doesn't really end up working out, because he's in these modes for such a short period of time. I have found that really the quickest way through this fight is just to spam your weapon skills and skill chains, because that way you'll either be doing high damage with those 2 weapon skills you do to make the skill chain, or high damage with the skill chain itself. Either way, each one of those weapon skill chain combinations usually gives me about 10% health reduction for him. So it works out that I move him from Mode 2 to Mode 3 and back and forth again with each set of skill chains. In regards to trust, I'm using Ulmia and Joachim for marches, which is kind of overkill. You can definitely swap Ulmia for another trust, Korumoru for haste 2, and Monboro and Yoran Oran for cures, which again is kind of overkill. You can swap one of those 2 white mage for another trust. However, I want to point out you definitely do not want to use a trust that's going to in any way interfere with your skill chain process. I tried using Qualtata, and sadly, he just kept interfering with my skill chains, so that's why I wasn't able to use a Corsair in this setup. Make sure you have Yonin and Kaka up, and let's get to work. Enjoy the run, everyone. And that will be it for July 2020's Ambuscade Volume 2. I'm currently working on the Volume 1 video. It should be out in a few hours. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy.